Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla. And today I'm coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And today I did catch it that the windshield wiper was on, kind of. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like it was left on auto or something. So I think that's what's happening. Is I think it's off and it's not off, it's still on auto, and then when I turn it off like that and turn it back on, it makes it go haywire. So it's another example of some silly feature that I don't even want. I don't want auto windshield wipers anyway. It's just not something I'm interested in. And it adds an extra thing to cycle through because it's off, auto, low, and then high. And it's just ridiculous. I wish I could just get rid of that because that's what keeps throwing me off. Because I'll put it on and then I'll put it back off, but I'm not actually, I don't know though. It's weird because I never did that with the car before, but then now all of a sudden I've done it. That's like the second time in a pretty recent time frame. A little bit strange. I'm not sure what's going on. I still liked my Mini Cooper, the old Mini Cooper. That was just the perfect car. I don't know. It's just crazy. But here we are with this big hunk of junk. Who knows, my friend? Who knows? Now, here's the thing. I was thinking about it today, and I think it's time for this show to have a little bit more spark, a little bit more pizzazz, you know, something to really spruce things up, because I think we've been doing a lot of this deep stuff for ages now. And it's just tricky, man. It's there's more to life than that. And I was just thinking about that, that there's really a lot more to life. There's so much more to life. I don't know where I was getting at with that, but this person could have went. And they didn't. I think people assume that I'm going to be fast, and then I'm very slow because I drive properly, and then it catches people off guard. Doesn't that say a lot about society? Yeah, I really miss my Mini Cooper. This thing is just not, I don't like it. I think it's time to get rid of it. Where were we, my friend? I don't know why I keep calling you guys friends. I'm just saying it's I think life is tricky. I've always had these cold, I don't know if cold's really the most accurate word, but these desires, wanting to be as serious as possible, wanting to be as intelligent as possible, right? These were always desires of mine, always things I've been infatuated with, wanting to optimize. And I guess I feel like in a lot of ways, I really fell short of that. I've described it multiple times how in my early teens, I kind of had this awakening when I was about 14, and I kind of snapped into place out of nowhere. I really did. I sold a lot of my toys, and I really was interested in discipline and all this stuff. But then when I got older, I actually regressed. I really regressed, and it's weird. And to this day, I'm set back a lot. I would have been so much further ahead right now. But I don't know. It's just like it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm still doing okay, but it's frustrating to think about that because I really lost it. I feel like I lost my mind. And I don't know if it was because I cut my childhood too early. I was too aware of the impending future, I suppose, and I cut things early. And then I spent the rest of my teenage life indulging, and even my early 20s indulging. And even now I'm aware of it, but who knows? I mean, I could still have spirals. I don't know for sure if I'm out of this. You know what I mean? It's just anything could happen, really. I just don't know if I can even trust myself about it. And that's what's scary. You know, I think it's pretty scary that I've had that. But man, there is a timeline where I am just a beast. And it's not this one. And I hope there's all some greater reason for it. I keep telling myself that I'm going to stop thinking about it like that. And yet, all the time, I keep coming back to it. I still keep thinking about it. Even now, I'm mentioning it again. I just don't know. You know, I don't know why that happened. To have a life where I was doing so much right, and then I just lost it, and then I'm very slowly now getting back into the swing of things. Like I said, I'm doing car rides with Schla. I see that as a W. It's accomplishment. It's something tangible to look at. I'm working a lot, although I'm pretty worried that at some point they're not going to keep the hours going. Right? But, sorry, that just, I don't know if that dude's, like, good. His car is kind of just, like, in the street, like, it's kind of to the side, but it's kind of not. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I don't know, but I have to stop thinking about the past. I'm always, like attacking myself, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always doing that. And I need to stop, but I just don't know how I messed up. I don't know how I messed up. But there's people like worse. I mean, we have the internet. There's so many people who are in worse situations than me, but it's just how much better of a situation I could be in right now is what's crazy. It's just very crazy to me. But I think everybody can say that, really, right? And hindsight's 2020. It's one of the most obvious kind of realizations about things. But man, I just don't know, you know? It's just, I feel like it's always going to eat away at me until I get to a point where it won't. Which may take a couple years, probably. It may take a while for me to properly get over it. I don't know. We'll just have to see, but you'll be here for the ride. The ride will be documented. I'm not sure, man. I've been in a very weird kind of fog recently. You know? I think all the excitement from car rides with Schla, it's weaned and worn off. You know? It's weaned and worn off. It's still exciting, but it's really becoming something that's second nature to me. And I guess that's why I'm more frustrated when I feel like I'm not performing up to par, because I guess we've got to the point where, yeah, it's second nature, but is it? Yeah, it's second nature, but I don't know if I'm performing, you know, every time. Like, I really want to be able to get to a point where every single episode consistently I feel like, oh yeah, that went well. that's good. That's cool. And we're still not there. I don't think we're there yet, I just feel like we're not there yet, so maybe I'm really still in training for when I want to start live streaming. Because as of now, we're just not there. Period. And as a streamer, a part of it would be easier because I'd be interacting with chat and presumably doing more things to interact with. A lot of times, it makes it easier to be present in a situation and stuff with other people, as opposed to while I'm driving, having to deal with driving stuff. And then in addition to that, not having, I don't have anything to look at or anything to really talk about in specific. It's just up to my brain alone. But in a way, I guess that's a good thing. I guess it's cultivating the muscle. And there's really no problem with that. It's hardest now, is what I'm trying to get at. And hopefully in the future, when I get to the point where I can start streaming, which could be years from now, I'm going to have cultivated all this already and we'll be in good shape. That's the plan, right? And it'll all have been worth it and not all for nothing. All worth it. So that's, I guess, what the point of it is. So I guess it's okay if there's bad episodes for now, but I still don't like it. I truly want to be able to just excel, just be great all the time, and I'm obviously not able to do that. I think a lot of people can't, though, and I do think that's relevant to point out. Just I am consistent still. I think a lot of people presumably wouldn't be able to do what I do, but again, it's hard to say. I mean, I could ask AI, but you wouldn't have data on that. But yeah, I think it's the fact that I output over an hour a day each weekday of content. Yeah, so I don't know. That 6-hour figure's got to be. Actually, never mind. No, because a lot of the episodes are like near 40 minutes now. So that probably is, because 30 minutes each. That's actually 20 minutes. 20 times 5. That's another 100 minutes, basically. So yeah, no, it's definitely 6 hours a week at this point. It's definitely 6 hours a week of content in like 35 to 40 minute sections, and they're before a giant shift and after a giant shift, and they're during a commute. I just don't think most people would pull off what I'm pulling off. I just don't. And that's kind of why it's crazy that it's not getting noticed, because I feel like I'm breaking some kind of record and I'm posting it and it's out there. And it's just like nobody's watching. And it's just like, okay, guys, like, I don't know. I think it'll take time. I've said this before, but I just think that's interesting. Because I get it. I don't think this content is top tier, but it's the context. I think it's the context that's makes it like, whoa, it's the context of what I'm doing. I just don't know that a lot of people would have the energy. And so we're just trying to I'm trying to do everything I can to get as much of a library of content recorded as possible. That's what we're doing right now. So you notice things have shifted, because I was talking about politics for a while. I was talking about the future, a lot of big systemic things. And then recently, it's just been talking about myself, going through my own emotions, kind of how I'm feeling. We're kind of having like a check-in now, a check-in period. And I apologize if that's boring and if more people would prefer the big systemic consequential episodes, but I think a check-in is good too. I think we switch it up. I don't think we do the same thing all the time. And yeah, I guess that's just these are things that have been going through my head. I really do wonder where life's taken me, you know? I could have been a beast. I could have been a machine. I guess I am now, but it's like we're just getting started when it's so late. It seems so late to me. But I don't know, I was messed up. But see, I'm saying I was messed up, but I guess there's plenty of people who are worse. Although I don't think that's productive. I agree with comparing yourself to others who are worse than you is not productive. There could be merit to comparing yourself to people who are better than you because it gives you something to strive towards. But comparing yourself to people who are worse than you, I mean, that's just kind of, what is that? There's always going to be people worse. That's such an easy thing to find. So, but I guess comparing to others isn't good. I just do it. I can't help myself. I always compare myself to other people. Is that just something everyone does, but not that many people admit? I don't really know, but I admit it. I don't know. I care about what other people think. I care about how other people feel. I just do. A lot of people say that. I don't care about what other people think. I don't care. I do care. I don't know if I'm just stupid for admitting that and it's kind of an untold secret. Like deep down everybody cares even when it doesn't make any sense, but I kind of feel like I'm just at an upper end of I just care an awful lot. I really do. But yeah, I guess I made it through kind of a rougher spot in my life. The foundation, getting things started, and hopefully now it's just going to be a lot of growth because a lot of the foundational things are out of the way now. I think I've said this a million times. Sorry for boring y'all. And now we can just focus on being a monk, saving money, and being happy. Delving into my spiritual side, figuring that out. All that stuff. That's where I'm trying to be at. Because I think I'm in a good place. I mean, I have to think about my career, but what am I really supposed to do? Going to college would be incredibly costly. I think it's risky because moving forward, I think the value of a college degree is dwindling. It's just a prediction of mine. It could be wrong, but that just seems to be how things are shaping out from my understanding of things. And it would cost a lot of money to do that, and I just don't see how that's worth it unless I could kind of gauge. I'd love to have extra income from my content, but I guess we're just going to have to wait on that, but I'm still investing a lot into it. I'm still here investing a lot of time, effort, and energy because I could be doing a million other things right now. I could just be thinking, I could just be listening to music, I could just be doing nothing like normal people, but here we are trying to cultivate a skill, trying to do something, even the days when I don't really feel like it. I've tried to brand it like that. Maybe that's some of the charm of the show. It's just a realistic situation. You see bad episodes, you see good episodes. It's not really working for the current era, but I think in the future things get edited and kind of clipped up and fixed up. there's got to be some things from this series that are going to be redeemable. There's just got to be. There's got to be. But oh my gosh, my vision of basically 24/7 streaming, giving people company, being there for a community, that's just the vision, And we'll see. I know there's people out there. I know it. I know there's people out there. But I guess it's fine because I still need time to train. I even think a year. I think a year from now I'll look back at these episodes and think, man, those episodes are... You guys better save them because I don't know if these are staying up or not. I could look back at these like, man, I shouldn't have even bothered uploading those. That's what I hope. I hope that's going to get there because with everything I've done, I lose interest after a while. I get into a lot of different things, but I haven't found anything I'm really able to commit to, and I'm very, very confident that if there's anything I'm going to be able to commit to, it's this. It's the talking, but it's the talking in a very raw and unrefined way. No editing, no nothing, just talking into a mic, letting myself loose. And so I've always had that issue with stuff. I've always ended up not being able to follow through. I have a lot of different interests that cycle around, and I haven't really ever had a true hobby that I've really wanted to pour into. The music, yeah, I was into that, but I'm in and out with music. I still want to, though, like I reaffirmed. I take back what I said. At first I was saying, no, music, I'm not going to focus on music. I'm just going to focus on talking. No, I really do want to still do well with music. I still want to focus on music. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of people, we try to get into stuff, we try to get into hobbies, and there's nothing there to really get into. And then that's why I feel like what I'm doing now, this is it. This is definitely, I don't really think I'm going to get tired of it. Because, like I said, if I wasn't working, I would be making a lot of content, So I'd be making way more than I'm making now, and what I'm making now is more than most people already. 6 hours a week, it's up there. And I've been doing it very consistently. So there was just 1 week off. I might take a week off for Christmas. We'll see. As of now, I think I'm going to, but I will obviously update you guys on that the closer we actually get there, because it's very far out. But if I started this in May, then it's basically been 2 months of episodes. I believe next week we will hit our 100th episode, which I'm pretty psyched for, because I always like that. I always like getting to the next figure set. And so it's going to be 3 figures for a while. It's going to take probably 2 years, probably 2 full years before we would hit 1,000. But I always like the figure. It depends. If I start doing the walks with Schla, that's going to accelerate things a lot, which I do plan on doing in the cold. As I've said before, it's just the UV index is very steep, and I don't want to be out in the sun. And where I walk now, it's right next to a road, so it's very noisy. Now, of course, I've thought about that too. Like, I don't know how healthy it's probably not healthy to be walking next to a busy road, but it's what I can do. It's nice and shady because of some trees shading the sidewalk, so I've just been doing it. I figure it's better to get outside. I think even though the air is not good, because it would probably be healthier for me to just walk around the company. Indoors, the air is probably better, although I'm not entirely sure how great the air is within the company, in all honesty. It's probably not great. But still, it probably would be better than walking right next to a road, but you have to think about also just the psychological effects, I think, for me, of going outside is important. I really think it is. The days I don't get outside, I don't feel as good. So I'm just a believer in that, and I think it's worth it, even if it means I have to walk next to and breathe in car fumes. I just think it's very worth it to go outside, to have sun on the skin. I'm a believer in it, and I think it's worked for me. So, yep, I just try not to think about it. I know it's not perfect, but once it gets to be the winter and the UV index goes back down again, there's another spot that's not as busy, but it's not shady. But since it's not as busy, there won't be as many cars, and I'll be able to do it more often. Or even as is now, if there's a day where the UV index is low, I will do it. Here and there. I'm just talking about once it gets cooler out, I could easily do it every single day. We could be doing 3 car rides with Schlas every day. Now, I've said this before, that I've said it before, but the lunches are a little bit shorter. I think they only end up being 24 minutes long. So that's kind of tragic, but I only have a 30-minute lunch, and I have to rush to eat, and then I'm trying my best. But yeah, I think actually they might not even be 24. I thought they were 22 or 23. Yeah, I'm not gonna say they're gonna be 24, because it's gonna be annoying to have to rush that much. I don't want to do that. So we'll just go with 20. We'll just say they're 20 minutes, and then the car rides with Schlas are a minimum of 35 usually. So, but I'm lumping them together. The walks with Schla and the car rides with Schla, it's really the same series. It's technically a spin-off, but I don't think it makes any sense to number it as its own. We've already talked about this. I don't know why I'm getting into it. I don't think it makes sense to number it as its own series in a separate playlist and all, because it's the same. It's the same thing. I mean, even if I did this show at home in the future, if I'm able to live off of my YouTube channel, I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm not going to start adding it to a different playlist now because it's not in the car anymore. Now, of course, I told y'all I'd assume the fan outrage over the lack of car is going to hurt people's feelings. And so, yeah, we'll still be recording in the car. I'm still thinking of it as a call, because remember, that was the whole point. That was my whole reason for making this, was just replacing calling people with something a bit more productive. And now I don't even want friends. It's just crazy how that works. Because friends are a waste of time. I don't know if it's a maturity thing or if it's unhealthy for me to say that, but in America, I just don't. Nobody really wants to be friends with you. They want to be friends with their phone. I just don't get what the point is. There is a genuine point to be made, I think, if you're surrounded by bad people, I don't know if it's worth it to be friends with them, if it's just bringing you down. And I always did that anyway, because I thought of myself as wanting to be there for people. Like I said, I care about people. But if I care more about someone else than they care about themselves, then it's just not going to be a good situation. It's not. So that's the kind of stuff I think you have to be mindful of, and I wasn't. And I guess I didn't realize just how little people care about themselves or other people. And I've already given my grievances about that. Oh, well, I don't care about myself, but I care about other people. I don't have time for that. It's that if someone says that to you, stop talking to them. Just stop talking to them. I've made that mistake one too many times. Yeah, I'm never doing it again. I'm going to ask that question to every single person I meet. And if their answer is, oh, well, I care about other people, but myself, I don't know about myself, I'm just blocking them. No, I'm kidding. I don't block people. I don't block people, but I'm not going to put effort into that. Because it's just not worth it. I've been there a million times, and where I'm at, you realize how important it is to care about yourself. Again, like I said, just go outside, get the sun on your skin. It's just so important, and it's simple once you get into a routine. You know, it's just a lot of people don't. I don't know. And now I've still been consistent with my running. I've still been consistent with my minimal weightlifting, which I basically, I'm barely even lifting so much so that I don't even want to say it. Because, like, I don't like doing that. Like, if I'm doing something, I don't want to tell people I'm doing it until after I'm actually good at it. And so the weights, I mean, I'm barely even doing anything, but I'm just doing something, you know. I'm lifting it a little bit, getting some lifts in, but barely doing anything. But the running, I'm pretty confident at talking about because that's my domain. And so we have still ran Saturday and Sunday. That was the third week in a row. So this week will be a full month of running every Saturday and Sunday. As well, July will be the first month of complete car rides with Schla. Every single day of July, I could be... No, yeah, because the first upload back from the break was June 30th, the week break I took. So, yes, July will be the first month where every single day in the month had a Car Rides with Schla episode. Obviously, May, the series didn't start until the end of the month, and then June, I took my week break in June. So, ideally, the hope is that now this is the first month, July, and then August, September, October, and November. Sorry, I'm just counting. That is 5 months, right? We will hit 5 months straight. And then, of course, I think I will take another 1 week break in December. That is my guess as of now. But that could change. I don't know if I want to just be a total workaholic and do nothing. But the problem is I don't want to just not use my PTO at all. I've been really good at saving it, and I've saved up a lot. Well, I mean, not like a lot, but, you know, and I just figure if I don't use it, it's just going to get annoying because I'm going to hit the limit, and then it's just, it makes sense to kind of gradually have breaks here and there. I don't know. Because my attendance has been perfect other than intentional taking off. That's another thing. And I guess I got no credit for that, no reward for that. I thought that was kind of crazy. I'm probably the only person there that just has, like, flawless attendance. Again, besides, obviously, I did take, like, a scheduled week off or something like that. Oh, well, actually, nah, that one time. But that was not... No, I've never not shown up. I've never called out. I'll say that much. There's never been a time I've called out. Every day off I've taken has been scheduled, and there's only been 1, 2, 3, 4 times I ever did that. So I'm probably better than anybody really who's there. and I got no credit for it or no acknowledgement of that, which I expected. But I mean, really, these places, I just don't care about what's going on. I don't know, but I try. I mean, I care a lot about what I do. I do a very good job. I'm not fast. I'm not the fastest person at what I do, but I'm definitely the best. It's not particularly close. Not even remotely close. I'm definitely the best at what I do. Even though that's not really saying much, because I'm working an entry-level job. I'm not trying to hype myself up, but I care more about what I do than anybody, at least in my estimation. But again, that has its caveat. There are other people who do more than me. Like, they get more done faster, so it's just, I mean, it's six to one, half dozen of the other. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is, but you try, I try. But I think everybody has their own work style. Like, I'm not trashing people. I just I don't get any fulfillment out of rushing. I just don't like it. I just think a job needs to be done correctly, and that's going to take time. And so they really should pay me for taking the time to do that, you know? Now, I'm not sure if they're going to or not, but we'll have to see. Anyways, it's been Schla, but now it's time to buy Schla. So, see ya, Schla.